Paracast.
Oh, wow.
Last year. She grew up with him and spent a lot of time in his apartment there.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay.
And Michael, did you hear just what Tim just said?
I just caught the very end of it. Tim, what did you go? Give us the Reader's Digest version. What were you talking about?
Well, I used to do a show called The Paracast with Gene Steinberg, and last year we had on Ingo Swan's niece.
Wow.
She basically grew up with him and spent a lot of time when she was growing up in his apartment. He was an artist, with the people that he hung out with and some of the interesting stories, about him and his abilities, and then the things that happened around him because of his abilities.
Right. Yeah. As I mentioned, Lincoln. What is Gail's? Do you have Gail's last name right there? Gail. Anyway, I wanted to turn you on to. She became friends with Ingo because she is a remote viewer who was brought in to meet Hal Pudov and all of that group that was working out of SRI. Gail Hayson, I believe, was her name. Gail Hayson. I was on her podcast today, and she revealed out of the blue, like, "Are you familiar with Ingo Swann?" I'm like, "I'm very familiar with Ingo Swann. I'm a big fan of his book, before he passed, and all of his work. I've studied him pretty extensively." And she's like, "I actually knew him, and we'd go to his apartment." And so she told some great stories, and she said, and then Russell Targ, who was Ingo Swann's best friend, is now one of Gail's best friends, and Russell would take her to meet. And so Gail has kind of been weaponized by this group that works with Hal Pudov. So, that's kind of the story as I'm starting to understand it, that she got into some dark remote viewing sessions where she just literally told that group, I can't do this anymore, because I think she was getting psychically attacked for trying to view particular targets that they wanted her to look at. And that happens a lot. I've learned in the RV world that if you go after certain targets, or you're tasked with looking at certain targets that other entities don't want you to look at, you can be kind of reverse attacked. And she had that happen enough that five in her group left the program because of that one remote viewing task target. So the only reason I bring that up is because she became good friends with Ingo and is still friends with Russell Targ, and is at that level that they realize this woman has some unique capabilities, because otherwise they don't even bring you into a group like that.
Wow. And also, too, Steve, you had some questions?
Well, yeah, the book Michael referenced, Penetration by Ingo Swann. I remember when after he died, that the third party, I'm going to call them the third party pirates, were jacking the price on that thing up to like $400, $600, $1,000.
Oh, is that right? Wow. Yeah, and I don't know if you read it, Steve, but when I did the read version, it's double printed in some places. Did you notice that? Like, they'll start a chapter again, and you get like 6 paragraphs of the chapter before, then you realize, oh, this is just the misprint. I don't know if it's because it was being shuffled so quickly that people were trying to reprint it, but on the version I got, which was like a Kindle version, it was it had pieces that were doubled. I'm like, what is going on? And then I just realized, oh, this is like a 1970s publication where there was no time for an editor to go back through and say, you've got the same chapter 6 times, But
it has been reprinted with extra material, so it is affordable now.
Right.
But it was fascinating because he apparently was approached by this top secret group. I mean, he didn't even know who they were. They took him to an undisclosed location. He didn't know where he was going, and they had him tasked. He was